What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Mohawk Motors. My name is Jason. So, man, it's been a while. I left you guys off on the Assblazer here with getting it driving again, working on the tune to get it to drive well. So, I got it tuned. It was running just absolutely fantastic, and I broke it. So I gotta fix it. So like I said, I got it driving really well, and I actually put a little over 1,200 miles on it. I didn't have any issues. Now, if you remember from the build series, and especially from putting the transmission together, I set all the tolerances and all the clearances in this transmission as tight as I could without being tighter than specification in the manual. Now, 99.99% of the time when I was driving this thing, I was starting it up, letting it warm up for about 5-10 minutes until it got to operating temperature, and then driving it. I didn't have any issues at all. Came a day that I was in a hurry. I needed to take this somewhere after coming home from picking up a part out truck. And I was trying to go quickly, and I didn't give this thing time to warm up. I literally got in it, turned the key on, went out of the driveway, turned into the street, gave it about half throttle, and from the first to second shift, it went bang, neutral. And then had no forward movement. I stopped, put it in park, shifted back into drive, and it drove okay. So, I'm not sure exactly what it was, but something definitely wasn't right. Drove it the rest of the way to where I needed to go that day, didn't have any trouble. Drove it home that afternoon, didn't have any trouble. Took it down to the local shop to get the air conditioning recharged. Drove fine down to there. And then coming home, if I got above half throttle, it would go into neutral. Or feel like it was going into neutral. The range indicator, the shifter wasn't moving, but it had a neutral where it should have been in gear. As if I let off of the throttle and then get back onto it again, light throttle, it'll move. So I think I have some kind of problem in the forward sprag. It'll drive in manual first gear, and it'll go into second gear if I shift manually. So I'm really thinking something happened to the forward sprag. Either maybe cracked the outer race, or something went wrong in there. So I'm going to get the transmission out of it, figure out what broke. I believe it was some kind of hard part failure. I don't believe it was a clutch failure, because like I said, it still goes through the gears like it should if I shift it manually. So I got to get the transmission out of it, figure out what the heck I did to it, and then get it corrected. All right, everybody. Well, it was a battle, but it's out. And the good news is the fluid isn't a glitter bomb. It is a little darker red than I would like, but not glitter bomb means hopefully not exploded parts inside. So I'm going to get it the rest of the way apart. Bell housing off, pan off, etc., etc. Figure out what on earth happened inside of this thing. And then I'll bring you guys back and show you what I found. I'm really thinking a broken hard part, but we're not going to know until I get it apart. Okay, I've got the bell housing and the pan off. I don't see anything alarming in the pan. A little bit of clutch break-in material, but still no glitter, still no chunks of anything. So Fingers crossed for just a broken hard part that can be replaced. All right, team, so I'm getting it apart. And I'm pulling the clutches out. Now, I don't want to say, like, I know how transmissions work. There are a lot of people that know how transmissions work a lot better than I do. But I'm pretty proud of myself because I actually diagnosed this right out of the gate. Right here, can you see that little guy right there? That is a crack. That is a crack in the outer race of the forward sprag. So the 29 element sprag did its job. Unfortunately, the outer race cracked. So everything else I've looked at so far in this thing looks great. It's just that cracked outer race is our problem. So fortunately, I have a whole other assembly right there that I pulled out of a core transmission. So I'll get this taken apart, get that race replaced with a good one. To my knowledge, nobody makes a updated or a beefier outer race there. So I'll put another stock one back in there and see if I can't soften up the 1-2 shift and hopefully keep this one alive. So feels good that I diagnosed it correctly. Bummer that I broke it, and super bummer. This transmission is one of the most difficult I've ever done to get in and out of the vehicle with the engine in there. So I'm not looking forward to trying to wrestle this thing back up into place, but I'll get it. Let's get this thing fixed and get it put back together. All right, I've got it all apart, and this thing, man, that second gear shift definitely needs to be dialed back because it was just beating this thing all up. You'd have to go back and watch the video, but this was a beautiful, nice inner race when I put this transmission together. And it is just hammered from hard shifts. My 29 element sprag is all chewed up. Fortunately, I ordered a new one. And then here's, like I said, the cracked outer race. So those parts are garbage. Fortunately, I have a spare. Get that, get it all put together with my new 29 element sprag, and then get it all back together and get it back in the truck. Whew. Oh boy. All right, let's go. All right, team. Got the power flow assembly back together. I need to get the valve body, all of that put back on. I may or may not have not been thinking and broken the torque converter clutch solenoid because I tried to pull the pump out before I pulled the solenoid out. So I need to get a new torque converter clutch solenoid. I'll get that ordered. Hopefully it'll be here in a day or two. But it's 11 o'clock at night. I'm calling it for the night. And I'll finish getting this thing put back together and back in the truck as soon as that new solenoid gets here. So probably pick up in a couple days.
4 to 6 days later.
Picking up. I don't know if you can see out there, but it's dusk. Getting into the evening. Kids are in bed. Finally have some time to work. I'm going to try to wrap up the transmission here for the Assblazer. I got my busted outer race and sprag replaced. Got everything put all back together. I have a new filter. I had a nice new cork pan gasket. I got the pan all cleaned out. So I'm going to put this thing back together and then get it back up in the truck and hopefully have it back on the road in the next few days. This thing, man, it was hard getting the transmission out of it. So I know it's going to be a battle getting it back in, but it's not going to do it itself. So you just got to get started and then work through the challenges as they come. Let's go.
1 eternity later.
All right, team. Well, It's just after midnight, and I just finished getting this thing all back together. Transmission is in, transfer case is back in, everything's bolted in. Checked all the fluids, transfer case is full. Put 6 quarts into the transmission. Check the engine oil, check the coolant. Everything looks good, ready to go. It's just after midnight, like I said, so I want to start it up. Just move the shifter through all the gears, just to get transmission fluid circulated, hopefully through the whole transmission. And then I'm calling it a night. And hopefully no leaks, no issues, and I can sleep tightly. Let's see what happens here. All right. No drips on the floor. No fires. All good things. I'm going to let it sit the rest of the night. Tomorrow morning, actually probably tomorrow afternoon, I'll be able to come out, start it up, check the fluid, and hopefully this thing's all good again. I think it is. I mean, I know that was definitely the problem. We just have to make sure we don't do it again. All right, well, everybody, as you saw, it's out of the garage. I took it for a test drive, and man, that thing really feels fast to me. So in the next video you see about the Assblazer, we're going to go out, get some real-world performance numbers, performance testing done, and see, is it actually fast, or have I just always had slow shit? But like I said, that'll be the next video. That's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate all of you commenting, subscribing, liking the videos. It means a lot, so thank you so much. And until the next video, everybody, take care.